EPA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, December 10th and 11th, 2022. It is Saturday, and the weekend video forecast is proudly sponsored by Bozer Brewing Company. They are located at 1250 Summit Boulevard in Easton, very close to Lafayette College. They are purveyors of fine craft beer in the Lehigh Valley region of Pennsylvania, with a vast beer selection from IPAs to ales to stouts and sours. They also have a fantastic menu selection, live entertainment, open mic nights, and trivia nights, and are open 5 days a week between Wednesday and Sunday. They will also be set up in the Easton Winter Village, downtown in the Circle. Be sure to stop by their hut for one of their locally made craft beers now through next Sunday, December 18th. And they are there every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday throughout the entire event. They are Bozer Brewing Company in Easton, proud sponsors of the weekend video forecast. So mostly sunny day again Saturday. Continuation of what we saw yesterday. A little bit cooler, though. Temperatures are going to be in the 38 to 45 degree range, northwest to southeast across our region. And then tomorrow, you see the rain and snow icon. That's where we're going to have rain and snow showers across the region on Sunday. Not a real big deal. More of a nuisance thing, regardless of precipitation type, whether you're going to have snow or rain. It's going to be a nuisance either way. And today, again, mostly sunny. As I move this forward here to Sunday, you can see just some very light, with this weak system moving across New York State, some light snow across the northern areas, some very light rain across the southern areas, and we're only talking about less than 0.15 inches of rain total of liquid equivalent here, so there's not much precipitation to work with. So the areas that are going to get this little bit of snow are going to be the northern areas, north central PA, northeast PA, far northern New Jersey, most notably in the higher elevations. Okay, we have a snow map that we put out on weather alerts for this, and it is very close to what the RGEM has this evening for the evening run. So it has mainly focused on elevations, and you can see where the accumulations of snow are. These are all elevation areas in here. These are the higher elevations, and in between there is a little bit of a valley, right? So you don't have but all these are all higher elevations in those particular regions, and of course all this area is included in that too. Along I-78, just trace amounts, okay? So I don't think you're going to get much in there. We did send alerts yesterday for those areas, generally near the I-78 corridor, for a coating to maybe as much as a half inch. Don't expect too much down there in those areas. It will be non-paved if it were to occur, non-paved surface accumulations. But this looks very close to what our snow map has on the weather alerts page, and we have a full discussion with that, with timing and impacts as well. So you can go to the weather alerts page on our website, and it will show this map, our map anyway, our version of this map. This came out after, of course, we produced our map. It just agrees with what we have for the most part. Here is the NAM high-res future simulated radar. I'm going to start this off at 8 o'clock in the morning. You see some very light intermittent snow showers, okay? And then that's going to move across the northern tier. Here's looking at 11 o'clock in the morning. As I move this forward, it's following the I-78 corridor, which starts right about here. This is the rain-snow line, basically. This is the I-78 corridor right here, generally right there. Of course, it goes up and down a little bit, but that's the general idea. So north of there, you have snow falling. Even just north of there, I don't think you're really dealing with much in the way of accumulations there. It's going to be more like a white rain situation where it's snow's falling, but it's struggling to accumulate, and I think that's what you're going to get when you get down here by the I-78 corridor. And then south of there, a little rain-snow mix. You can still have some snow mixed in, but south of there is primarily just light rain showers, and it's not much. You're not getting much in the way of liquid equivalent out of this, but this will go through the course of the afternoon, and you see the rain-snow line maintains across or just along or just north of I-78 in both Pennsylvania and New Jersey. North of there, it remains snow. But again, higher elevations are going to do the best with this, because snow falling and snow sticking are two different things. Once we get to the evening hours, we have another impulse coming through that's going to hit northeast PA, northern New Jersey here on the way out, and that'll be the end of it. Again, total precipitation from this in terms of snowfall is going to be greatest across northeast PA and parts of north central PA, favoring those elevation areas. Okay, very simple system here. If you want to get the more details with that, again, the weather alerts page has that information and will remain there all weekend. If we have to update it on Saturday, we will, but I don't foresee any wholesale changes at the moment, okay? Once this is beyond us, we still remain chillier than average by a couple degrees Monday through Wednesday of next week. We're expecting partly to mostly cloudy skies here on Monday, a mostly sunny day here on Tuesday, and with high pressure under control. And then once we get to Wednesday, we're going to call it a partly cloudy day in between systems. This next system coming at us is a cold front, it looks like, right? Now, you have this big cold front associated with this Midwest low, which is, at this point, up here. Here's your Midwest low. That's the low center. It's going to end up transferring to a secondary low, which is starting to form at this point over the eastern Tennessee Valley, and it's going to eventually head up in this direction like this, okay? So that's the general idea. The question is going to be this week, where does a secondary form? Does it form at all? And where exactly it forms and where it tracks after it does form, okay? I do think there's going to be a secondary here because the primary low pressure is trying to run into this block that is off to the north, and I showed that in yesterday's video. But you can clearly see what this is doing here on the European guidance. Primary low is up here. Secondary is popping over eastern Virginia at this point. It's continuing up in this direction. Now, this is the European model that ran earlier today, earlier on Friday, okay? It has initially some mixed precipitation, and then once this low starts taking over as a primary, it starts drawing in cold air from the north in this direction like this. This starts coming in this direction where the cold air wraps in behind it, and you have any rain or mix changing over to snow with this system, and that is a very viable possibility with how this evolves. Okay, again, this is looking at something for Thursday of next week, Thursday into Friday. We got some time to look at this, and we're going to get a better look at this when we get into Monday of next week, our next daily forecast video. But right now, the European model is suggesting there could be some snow across our region here, and maybe a decent amount of snow. If this was correct, this thing really gets wrapped up and cranked up here and doesn't pull away until later Friday night on the European model. The Canadian model that ran this evening, similar idea here. We get like a little wintry mix to start, and then again, like I said, the cold air is going to get wrapped in behind it like this as this low takes over as the secondary and starts to become the primary at that point. And then once you go forward in time, you see that starts changing over to snow, and you get some snow here to end. All right, so it's not too much different from what the European model is suggesting. The one caveat to this, remember I said it's going to be depend on whether the secondary forms. Primary here on the GFS, this that ran this evening, runs into the Great Lakes, but there's no secondary that forms with this, which strikes me as a little bit of an oddity. But it is not impossible for that not to form. If you have no secondary, you get nothing on Thursday and Friday. Again, I don't think that's the right idea. The ensembles are suggesting that there will be something there, but this is showing a possibility of nothing forming at all, and you really get no precipitation over that entire time frame. So we're going to continue to watch that through all of next week, and when we get here on Monday, we'll see where we're at and see kind of gauge where the models have gone over the past 2 days when we're not doing a video, because we don't do a video on Sunday. I will have an update of this on this situation with the Weather Weekly's video on Sunday, with the latest information with this particular system, and then the winter storm signals that we identified in yesterday's long-range outlook will also be included in that. But really, next Monday, when we get to the next video, daily forecast video on Monday, I'll go in a little bit better detail where we're at that point as a starting point, and then we'll go forward from there, which is coming in Thursday and Friday. So we'll have a couple days to look at it. Maps won't be needed until about the middle of the week, so we certainly have some time with that particular system. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for the weekend, December 10th and 11th, 2022. Have a great great Saturday and Sunday.